Hello, welcome back to Living in the Pacific Northwest with Hal Byrd. Today we're going to be talking about another article. I'm very excited to share this one because when you think about the tech industry and major business hubs on the West Coast, you probably have like Seattle, San Francisco, maybe the Silicon Valley, like LA sort of thing come to mind. And there is a little known growing hub in the tech industry in the Portland metro area known as the Silicon Forest, and that is Vancouver, Washington. So today we're going to talk about why businesses, jobs, and families are all flocking to Vancouver, Washington. For those of you who are new here, my name is Hal Byrd with the Bird's Eye Group, and we are licensed realtors in Oregon and Washington, specialized in relocation and luxury. And today we are going to talk about the rising star in the Silicon Forest, that's Vancouver, Washington. If you are thinking about buying, selling, or investing in the Pacific Northwest, make sure to shoot us a text at 360-818-4438. We'd be happy to help you with your relocation, moving needs, whether you're looking to move to or within the Portland metro and Southwest Washington areas. That's exactly what we're here to do. All of our contact information is in the description below. And we always ask that you like this video, leave a comment, let us know what you think about this topic. Are you a tech worker in Southwest Washington? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. So this article in Inc. magazine got our attention because if you are a business reader, you know that Inc. magazine is one of the largest, most prominent business magazines in the country. And they really talked about why businesses are flocking to Vancouver, Washington. And I just think it's so exciting for our community. If you've been watching for a while, you may have seen me reference that we have sort of a perfect storm to become a major hub and really thrive economically here. But there was one thing that we were missing, and it is a clear industry. You know, my husband Jarrett and I have talked on the channel about Bellevue, for instance, and how it's grown and how that kind of mirrors what's been happening in Vancouver. But Bellevue has an employment hub, and currently Vancouver, Washington does not. And I do see that changing, and I think we are ripe for growth and getting more jobs into this community, better paying jobs that are going to help locals, people who've been here a long time, but also people coming into the area really truly succeed. And I'm very excited about this because we're so perfectly poised when you look at our tax advantage, how close we are to an international airport, the infrastructure developments that are going on. So we're going to dive into some of those things today as we kind of review this article and chat about what it means to Vancouver, Washington residents. So stay tuned. So the first thing that a lot of businesses notice when they start thinking about having an office or a headquarters in Vancouver, Washington, is that we don't have any state income tax, which is great for their employees, and we also don't have any corporate income tax. What we do have is a very minimal what's called B&O tax, or business and occupation tax, that varies based on the industry. We can post some examples here. But that alone is a big driver for businesses because if a business can be located anywhere, a lot of times they're fiduciary to their stakeholders or their shareholders, and they want to set up in a place that's going to be the most financially advantageous. And that's why when you look at the state of Washington, there's so many huge mega companies up in the Seattle area. And I think companies are starting to see that there are other areas of Washington that are very appealing to their employees. So not only does it help the business from a financial standpoint, but it also helps recruit great workers if you're located and your job is located in a desirable market. There are also a lot of incentives offered to business with training programs for employees, energy tax incentives, and year over year, we've been seeing a 12% increase in business filings. So you can tell that people are starting to take notice about how advantaged Vancouver is from a business perspective. Now, in 2024, there were about 220,000 jobs in Southwest Washington, with just over 80% of those being specifically in Clark County. And when we look at the industries where we're seeing these jobs, manufacturing is the fifth largest industry with about 14,000 jobs. And as that number continues to grow, projections are that we're going to have more and more tech jobs available in Southwest Washington. And now if we reference the article, you can see that the economic expansion in Southwest Washington is in part thanks to local giants like HP and Kyocera, which established Vancouver facilities in the late 70s and early 1990s and have remained power players, solidifying the area as one of the Pacific Northwest's top tech hubs. So even though it's little known, when you look at developments, a lot of my clients come to me and they're like, we love Fisher's Landing, that's where we want to live. And part of the reason that Fisher's Landing was developed in the early 90s was because of that HP headquarters that was right in Fisher's Landing. Now that headquarters has sold to a developer and is going to become a very exciting retail, restaurant, entertainment sort of hub in East Vancouver, something that they think is going to rival the Vancouver Waterfront and provide more of an attraction to the east side of town. So you can see how having jobs and stability economically creates a more attractive place to live, and that's why Fisher's Landing is so sought after as a community. In addition to Kyocera and HP, we have other big employers like the Taiwan Semiconductor Company that is based out of Camas. We've got Fisher Investments. You've got Zoom Info offering tech jobs. We have several employers in the county that are big players in the tech hub, manufacturing, finance that are offering jobs that fall under the Silicon Forest umbrella. So this combination of tax advantages and workplace support is attracting companies that want to grow quickly. And for people that are moving here, it means more job opportunities and a thriving economy and a beautiful, safe, supportive environment to live in. Next, I want to give a little bit of an overview of some of the big developments that are happening in Vancouver specifically, because you've got the Vancouver Waterfront, which I'm sure anyone who's remotely interested in Vancouver, Washington, and obviously if you live here, you would have heard about it. What's really exciting to me is that Zoom Info, who is a billion-dollar AI platform provider, has taken up office space at the Vancouver Waterfront. And to me, that is a great signal for the growth that's going to continue to happen in our market. And right in that area where Zoom Info is at the waterfront, you've got 1.5 million square feet of office space, research, mixed-use space that is going to provide a foundation for more jobs to be supported here. After speaking to some of the local developers in our area, what I found very interesting is that the success of the Vancouver Waterfront has really sparked a lot of interest from out-of-state investors and developers. So because the Vancouver Waterfront has sort of served as a proof of concept, we have other large developments happening around the county now. You've got the Heights development, the Vancouver Innovation Center in East Vancouver, Columbia Palisades also in East Vancouver, the Camas-Washougal Waterfront, the Ridgefield Waterfront, the Kalama's Waterfront is already being built, and various other industrial warehouses being built around the county, because people from out of our market, investors, think like the big money in other markets, is seeing this as an opportunity. And I feel very confident about the growth of Southwest Washington and the trajectory of Southwest Washington over the next 10, 20 plus years. And I think it's important to note here that these projects aren't just pie in the sky. These are things that actively are being developed, dirt is moving, buildings are going up. Every time that we drive by, for instance, the Camas-Washougal Waterfront, I'm shocked at how much progress they're making. If you go and look back at this video, you can see that it was just dirt and now their buildings are already framed. And I want to say we filmed that like maybe a year ago. So a lot of these projects are going to be completed in the next 5 years, fully completed. And a perfect example of that is if you look at the Vancouver Waterfront, when we moved here in 2018, it did not exist. It was being built in 2019, and a lot of those places, the initial places, opened up in 2019, 2020, and businesses are still opening up there. They're still doing the development, but just from like me looking at it, I would say it's like 80% complete, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's clean. It is expensive. I know that is one complaint from locals, but it is a very good attraction for our market. And you can tell that because when you visit, you can see a ton of organ plates coming and spending their money in our area when they could easily stay in Portland. So why does this all matter to people who live here, to residents of Southwest Washington? Well, job growth equals stability, and that's so important for people who are going to be living in a community. You want your community to be stable. You want it to have a good economic prospectus compared to, not to rag on anyone, but Detroit went from having great economic stability to manufacturing leaving the community and those homes and the job market being very depressed for a very long time. I hear that it's making a comeback, but I personally would like to see our area just thrive and figure out ways to be innovative in the market for, the rest of our lives. Also, when there are rising commercial investments, that also means better infrastructure, better roads, better highway access, better hospitals, better schools. Because we have money coming in that is generating revenue through B&O tax, sales tax, you have people with new jobs earning more money potentially, that's more money to give back to the community. It's a rising tide that lifts all boats, and that's really exciting. And I have to credit my husband with this, but the long-term vision is that Vancouver, especially as it annexes, you can reference this article here, as it annexes the lands that are planned to be annexed, because not everywhere that has a Vancouver address, if you're looking at homes on our website, homewithhal.com or birdseyeGroup.com, you'll notice that a lot of homes that have Vancouver addresses, but they're not necessarily in the city limits. And when the city annexes those, we're going to be the second largest city in Washington. And I think long-term, we can rival something like Bellevue or even rival Portland's economic clout, especially as so many companies are leaving the city of Portland to go out into the suburbs. You can even see this with the Tesla dealership. They had a Tesla dealership in downtown Portland, and they closed down that location and opened one in Vancouver and one sort of near Beaverton, right near Washington Square. And to further that point of businesses and jobs coming into town, you have sort of more luxury car dealerships coming. We've had several car dealerships along 4th Plain and Andreessen. But now you're seeing a new sort of auto mall hub that's kind of popping up along Mill Plain, which could be great, but could also be a nightmare because Lexus is coming in. There's rumors that Mercedes is going to be opening up, Land Rover. So more upmarket car manufacturers are opening sales, they call them sales rooms. What do you call them?
Dealerships.
Dealerships. Can you tell that Jared's the car person and not me? So for those of you who are considering a move to this area, even if you're just looking to go from Oregon to Southwest Washington, it's obviously not just about business and jobs. It's also about schools and housing and lifestyle amenities. And Vancouver and the surrounding area of Southwest Washington is going to be continually improving as more and more money flows into this area. So right now, I think we're sitting in a place where Vancouver isn't just a bedroom community anymore, but it's also going to become an economic powerhouse in its own right. And while that can be intimidating, especially if you've lived here for a long time, 20 plus years, there's a certain aspect of growth that can't be stopped. And as many of you know, the Washington State Growth Management Act, it's really where cities grow and how the infrastructure is built out really comes down from the state level. And it's very tricky because city officials are tasked to fulfill the mandates that are passed down from the state through the Growth Management Act. So, we can complain about it, or we can figure out ways to take advantage and thrive and maybe even bring family in. This is great for the next generation, I think, of Vancouver residents, people that are studying at WSU Vancouver, that are studying at Clark College, that may have more opportunity to have a job in their community rather than 30 to 35% of Vancouver workers and Clark County workers driving over the bridge to Oregon in bridge traffic and also paying Oregon taxes. So having more jobs in our community is a good thing for everyone in our community. And then I want to round out this video talking about the lifestyle angle of things, because I did mention it's not just business. And what is attracting so many people when I talk to people from all over the country, I'm not just talking about the Californians, the Oregonians, the Seattleites, the Texans. I'm also talking to people who are relocating from Georgia and Nebraska and Indiana. There's so many intangibles that we have in our part of the country The fact that we have multiple trail systems in the county, we have hikes and waterfalls, and even if you're just taking a simple neighborhood walk in a suburban area, there's also trees and so many little parks. We don't just have one big park like Esther Short Park or the Waterfront Park. We have so many little community parks with playgrounds or just open green space that you could take your dogs to, or you could swing a bat with, or play catch or frisbee, or there's the lifestyle that Vancouver offers while being within, the whole city of Vancouver is within 20 minutes of PDX International Airport. You're within 20 to 30 minutes of downtown Portland. So kind of going back to a video that we just filmed, but we talk about the benefits of big-ish city amenities, and having access to that bite-sized big city of Portland is such an advantage. So as you can tell, we're very excited because having the PNW outdoor lifestyle plus a strong economy plus lower taxes plus growing amenities, it is going to be a fun ride, to say the least. And now the only question is, will you be part of it? Are you a native? What do you call someone who's from Vancouver? Vancouveran? Vancouverite? How do I not know this?
You know, say it's Vancouverite, but you're totally wrong. Vancouverite. You were right.
We were right with Vancouverite. This market, I think, is going to have something for everyone, and I truly want the best for everyone who lives here, everyone who's going to be living here as we grow our jobs, as our area grows, and we have more and more attractions and people can enjoy and be neighborly and love this place as much as we have, calling Vancouver home for the last 7 years. So if you are a tech worker in any one of the big tech hubs across this country and you're looking for somewhere that's going to offer a better lifestyle for your family, better schools, more of a well-rounded, more balanced lifestyle where it's not just about the hustle and bustle, but there's work-life balance, truly, this is such a great place to live, and I would invite you to schedule a consult with me below to talk about your relocation or your move to or within the Portland Metro and Southwest Washington areas. We cover all of the counties in the metro area, so even if you are working one of the tech jobs in the original Silicon Forest, Portland, Beaverton, that area, or if you're going to be working in the rising star of the Silicon Forest, Southwest Washington, we would be happy to help you on both sides of the river. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like this video, comment, subscribe, and share this with someone you know who might want to be in this area and take advantage of the growth that's happening. So without further ado, I will catch you guys next time. Ciao.